The London Tower is notorious for its grim and dark violent history of betrayal, murder, suffering, torture, beheadings, executions and mysteries that's completely covered, dripping in bloodshed, carnage and true horror. So grab yourselves a warm drink, sit back and relax as we find out who's haunting the London Tower and why.
The Tower of London. Within these stone walls lies another world. A dark past full of diabolical treachery and deadly ambition. A place of imprisonment, torture, and agonizing death. These stones echo with the weeping of prisoners, the cries of the condemned, and the tales they have to tell.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Wherever you may be in the world right now, hello, my name's Lloyd, and right now, you're watching When Evil Follows. When William the Conqueror constructed the imposing Tower of London, at the heart of his 11th century stronghold, the rich and poor and defeated Londoners would have no other choice but to gaze upon it in pure awe. The Tower of London within the UK is without doubt one of the most haunted, if not the most haunted location in England. And today, almost 1,000 years later, the tower continues to captivate and unsettle many who walk on its grounds. It's connected to dark history, with ruthless and barbaric acts of violence towards those facing punishment of pain and suffering, torture, and even death. Yes, for those unlucky bunch of souls that found themselves being locked up, starved and tortured in the Tower of London would often be seen as criminals by those back in the day that rightfully deserved to be locked up there. However, the one thing history has taught us over the years is that many innocent people would often perish at the tower under very suspicious circumstances, no matter who you were and no matter your status, be it rich or poor. If you were deemed a criminal or seen to be a threat to the crown, a stay at the tower would more often than not result in death, even if they were innocent. With a staggering estimated 400 people all executed in the grounds of the London Tower, is there any wonder why this historic building is believed to be one of the most haunted buildings in the whole of Europe? Leading us to look into the question, who exactly is haunting the tower and why? Number 1. Anne Boleyn. Anne Boleyn was the second wife to King Henry VIII and is perhaps the most famous ghost associated with the tower. She was executed on the orders of her husband King Henry VIII in the year of 1536. Her spirit has been seen endlessly wandering the tower hallways by many, all reporting a strange ghostly apparition appearing and then disappearing in front of their very eyes. These chilling reports have been made by many people over the years, including staff workers and tourists and even children. It's said a headless figure is most commonly seen around sundown on the far side of the tower, next to the site of her gruesome execution at the Tower Green. This chilling figure has also been seen at the Chapel of St. Peter, where she was buried, only adding to the macabre nature of the Tower hauntings. The Two Princes in the Tower. The tale of the two princes in the tower is a potent mix of historical mystery and tragic loss, making this one of the most enduring and unsettling mysteries of the English monarchy. The two young princes, Edward V and his brother Richard the Duke of York, were both the sons of Edward VI, and they were the next legitimate heirs to the throne. The two boys were last seen looking out the window from inside the London Tower in the year of 1483, leading many historians to believe that they were both murdered by their ruthless uncle Richard III to secure his own greedy claim to the throne. And for years, these two boys, they just disappeared, and nobody in London, nobody knew where they went or where they were, but many people back in the day did believe that they were no longer alive. However, in the year of 1674, Workmen at the Tower of London discovered a chest that was hidden inside the wall of the tower, and when they opened the chest, they discovered 2 small male human skeletons. Their bones were then reburied at Westminster Abbey as the remains of the 2 princes. Their ghosts are said to appear at night and in the early hours of the morning, where they were held captive, still dressed in their white nightshirts and just staring from the tower windows with no expressions on their faces. It's also been reported that both of the children's cries for help can still be heard echoing throughout the dark and bloody hallways. Meaning their souls were ripped from their bodies with such horror and shock, their spirits continue to be trapped inside the walls of the dark and enclosed tower. Their souls have been seen by many and countless of times, all reporting and describing their regular ghostly appearances as a movie reel playing over and over that's stuck on repeat. Number 3 is Lady Jane Grey, the 9 Days Queen. Lady Jane Grey, known as the 9 Days Queen, was cruelly betrayed by those who put her on the throne in the first place. As soon as it became clear that Mary's oncoming forces were much bigger and stronger, many of Jane's sworn supporters abandoned her, leaving her vulnerable and alone. Following her unlucky disposition, Jane was imprisoned at the Tower of London, a place where many of the prisoners meet their grim end, only adding extra fear and uncertainty to her situation. Jane was executed on the 12th of February in the year of 1554 after being convicted of high treason. Her youth and innocence made her execution particularly tragic. The young girl resigned to her fate, showing remarkable courage at her death. She was holding a prayer book and reciting Psalm 51, giving plea for mercy and forgiveness, adding a chilling but human element to her story. Lady Jane Grey is said to haunt the Tower of London, where she was imprisoned and executed, and is reported to be seen each year around the anniversary of her death. Number 4. St. Walter Raleigh. St. Walter Raleigh was a famous explorer and writer who was imprisoned in the Tower of London multiple times during his life. However, his men attacked a Spanish outpost in violation of a peace treaty, leading to the loss of his son, providing grounds for his final arrest and execution. The failure of the expedition and the violence it involved definitely tributed to his downfall. A year or so beforehand, he was also accused of conspiring against the king, James I. And so after returning from his expedition to find El Dorado, he was sentenced to death. But get this, his execution was a brutal affair, with Raleigh giving a memorable speech as he calmly examined the axe that would behead him. His spirit is said to haunt the darkened hallways of the London Tower, where he was held, with many reports all claiming to hear his footsteps and moans echoing from empty rooms just before and after his spirit materializes. Number 5. The White Lady, Margaret Pole. Margaret Pole. She was the Countess of Salisbury, and she was executed on the 27th of May in the year of 1541 under the orders of King Henry VIII. Her execution was particularly gruesome and bloody, and is one of the most infamous slaughters in the history of the Tower of London. Yeah, the inexperienced executioner required 9 blows to complete the beheading, causing Margaret to scream and choke in great pain and suffering as she died. The White Lady is reportedly seen lingering on the stairways in the tower. Many workers, visitors, and even royal guards have all made reports saying that they could smell her overwhelming scent of cheap perfume just before her creepy appearance. Alongside the sightings of the White Lady, some have even reported experiencing a physical sensation of invisible hands touching their faces. There have also been reports of inexplicable phenomena such as flickering lights and sudden drafts and the feeling of being watched, all accompanied with a sudden drop in temperature. The White Lady is strongly believed to be the most restless spirit in the tower because of her tragic and brutally bloodshedded slaughter. Margaret Pole continues to haunt the White Tower block. Her violent death and the lingering sense of injustice only contributes to the fear and mystery surrounding her ghostly appearances. Thomas Becket, the Archbishop of Canterbury. According to legend, he was also murdered in the tower in the year of 1170 over a disagreement of religious and ruthless laws. His ghostly apparition has also been reported by many during the construction of the inner curtain wall, striking it with his crozier, causing the curtains to collapse. Many people believe his soul still roams the building, demonstrating his obvious upset and displeasure over the king's murderous intentions and actions. The London Tower's long history as a royal palace, prison and execution site that, along with its many cold-blooded murders, has left an eerie and uncomfortable atmosphere within the grounds. And with its blood-stained walls, many people over the years have reported this cold feeling, making them feel as if they are being watched by someone or something. And yeah, the tower's history and the stories of its spectral residents continue to fascinate and yet terrify visitors from around the world, and is the perfect breeding ground for creepy stories and ghostly encounters to this very day. And that's why you'll never see me walking around the Tower of London after sundown. That's for sure. Hello there, and thank you for watching another video of When Evil Follows. So would you go to the London Tower? Maybe just stay over for a couple of nights? If so, let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We upload dark stories each and every week right here on this channel, so if that sounds like your thing, hit subscribe. Also, I just want to give a massive shout out to Evie Woo for supporting the channel. You're an absolute diamond. Thank you. And until next time, do stay safe and look after yourself, and I'll see you all again real soon, the next time When Evil Follows. Bye.